Oh, Pyro. It looks like you've landed on the wrong side of the YouTube drama scene. It can happen now and then, but for someone like you who's typically lodged in the middle of the commentary collective, it must be pretty intimidating. Especially when you yourself will often produce content discussing controversy, only to have your peers and smaller YouTube underlings such as myself spew it back on the same decrepit canvas that is the YouTube landscape. But why? This situation has a lot of ups and downs, with people changing sides often as new information comes to light. But I think there have been some serious oversights that need addressing. I've gathered a lot of evidence that backs up the points I'm about to make, but I'm waiting for the first 30 seconds of the video to pass so I'm in the clear to swear while keeping ads. Okay. Is it done yet? Okay, thank God. Now let's get more specific. I'm sure all you know by now since the situation is quite old, but Pyro had some accusations thrust against him, and since then his adventures have been solely offline. Obviously, because of YouTube's Orwellian guidelines, I doubt I can get too in detail without having ads revoked, but let's just say his situation involves less than moral actions with a minor. Now, in the wave of this drama, many have doubted a lot of the claims. But then, a video was released by a popular commentary figure most of you probably know, which turned the tides on things overnight. I'm of course referring to Stomedy.
Guess who it is? Guess again. Wrong! It's Stomedy!
That's right. Now I know it may seem like a shock given his long stretch of insanity-infused history with the commentary community, but believe it or not, Stomedy was actually the first to catch Pyro in the act, and ultimately set in motion his downfall. Pyro's alleged actions occurred in 2016, going almost unnoticed until today. Unnoticed by all except, yes, Stomedy, who called him out right there and then. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Much earlier that year, a popular figure and friend of Pyro's known as Colossal's Crazy created videos offering commentary on the site by searching up terms and sorting by upload date in order to uncover content that would otherwise go unnoticed. He did this for several terms including parody, exposed, and most importantly, prank. It was thanks to the last of which that he was able to unearth the legendary figure known as Stomedy, who was uploading reaction videos disguised as the original source material in order to gather views. And his attempts for success were rewarded, as he reached over 200,000 subscribers on his channel at the time, something which Colossal points out.
Now you know it's gonna be fucking good when you see an intro like this one. $5 on fucking Fiverr to get your cancer little intro.
Hey guys, my name is Stomedy.
Right, he looks like a fucking Malteser.
Anyways, today we're gonna be watching Can I Suck Your Cock prank.
It's not a prank, it's a react to video. You didn't put that in the fucking title, did you? I wonder why. And why has this guy got 200,000 subscribers? Tell me that! Oh, here's why. He's uploaded 9 videos in the last 48 hours!
But what many fail to realize is just how exactly brilliant Stomedy truly is. Most dismiss him as being a careless clickbaiter, and this is mostly true, but that doesn't mean he's stupid. Rather, the opposite. Stomedy amassed hundreds of thousands of subscribers by playing on exploits within the very mainframe of YouTube itself, and through them has been able to form a viable career. Ethically questionable, sure, but difficult nonetheless, even for other people who actively try their hardest pandering to the lowest common denominator to get views and attention. But Stomedy is not like the others. Successfully cheating a system requires, above all else, knowledge of the system. For most, this proves to be a blockade, but not for him. Stomedy is essentially an internet chameleon who uses his established channel to blend with others. He did so in Colossal's video discussing his own video, by posing as a prank upload, and did so on a much bigger scale when he went about reskinning his entire account to Clunatic Dinner Style to cash in on established franchise of ASMR channels by the Clunatic brand. Although what the public got wrong about Stomedy was the intent. Someone with abilities in manipulating YouTube's inner workings to his advantage on such a wide scale will usually take the route of constructing a content farm.
Faceless accounts that pump out content on an assembly line to maximize views, rather than trying to build up a fan base.
These types of channels are the most financially stable route for a person hoping to pursue YouTube solely as a business venture, but obviously this isn't what Stomedy did. Instead, he attached his face and built a brand around his personality. But why? Someone with his level of skill must have known that personality-based content ultimately has a bottleneck in production, and even though he could upload dozens of videos weekly, there was an apex that could be reached. That is, unless we're to believe he had another goal. I think that the man we know as Stomedy is actually a character being portrayed by a paid actor while the real creator is pulling the strings. The reason being to create the wackiest and most infamous internet personality to catch the attention of YouTube's biggest and up-and-coming powerhouses, the commentary community.
That's right.
If he became noticed by them, his eccentricities would prove to be his ultimate advantage, gaining him more traction than ever in ways even content farms couldn't compete with. But his plan didn't stop there. Stomedy did heavy amounts of research into the larger figures of the time and specifically sought out to gather dirt on them in order to publicly out their wrongdoings when he had the biggest spotlight on him from their audience. And this plan worked flawlessly. Making his rounds through each of the commentary members' past, he discovered Pyro's actions almost immediately, and bided his time releasing it until just the right moment. But as Stomedy was hunting Pyro, Pyro was hunting Stomedy. He too was waiting to make a move after having discovered his existence through Colossal's prank video. And when the time came, Pyro threw the first punch and made a video talking about Stomedy's channel, just as planned.
Now recently a YouTuber's been cropping up in my suggested and related videos. I've honestly wanted to talk about this guy for quite a while now, but he's always pretty much evaded me as more interesting topics come about.
Yes.
Well, now finally I've got the time to talk about possibly one of the best and worst YouTubers to ever exist. The channel I'm talking about, of course, is Stomedy.
But things took an unexpected turn when Leafy joined the bandwagon and created his own video on him as well.
Well, let me clear something up from you. Stomedy was originally discovered in the depths of hell by Colossal is Crazy. I then stole the video idea from Colossal is Crazy, and then Leafy stole the video idea from me, so I'm simply stealing back what I already stole. So basically in this equation, we're all parasites stealing off each other. How we haven't killed ourselves yet is absolutely amazing.
Stomedy had officially struck gold. He now had two of the biggest reaction commentators' attention, and he intended to make good use of it. He put up a video of his own addressing them, and most importantly, accusing Pyro of his crimes.
Anyways, you fans, why do you follow people you can't even see their faces? How do you know they're not molesters? Huh? Pedophiles. You know, something like that. Why would somebody hide their identity? Come on, ask yourself that. Yeah, you're gonna be the next victim of being raped by them, maybe, I don't know.
Although, this is where things took a drastic turn for the worst. Stomedy may be a genius, but he underestimated who he was dealing with, since Pyro himself proved to be a much bigger criminal mastermind than he could have ever thought.
So this individual, this man-child, has accused me of being a rapist just because I haven't done a face reveal on YouTube. He's literally grabbing small nodes of information and putting them together, hoping that something comes out of it.
Pyro tactfully brushed off the allegations, and following this would form the ultimate plan to remove Stomedy as a threat once and for all. Most who watched Stomedy's video had gone in without taking it seriously, so the accusations could be deflated if Pyro played his cards right. He most likely threatened Stomedy with bodily harm since, as we all know, Pyro is a ripped Chad, and that probably kept him in line. But there is one other theory many have tossed around. As I stated, Stomedy sought out dirt on Pyro to intentionally release at a time where it would raise the most attention for himself and start a ripple effect for his analytics. But at this point, Pyro was no longer the biggest player in this game. I assert that Pyro took the chance to kill two birds with one stone and offer Stomedy a deal he couldn't refuse. In exchange for keeping quiet the claims, Pyro would give Stomedy blackmail on Leafy, who he was already known associates with, which would be a deal that would make perfect financial sense for the man behind the Stomedy channel to take, since Leafy was the far more established channel at that point, and feuding with him continuously would be a far more beneficial move than engaging with Pyro in a one-off scandal. Stomedy's video containing the accusation was then removed, but to make sure no one traced it back to him, Pyro created a fake Leafy is Here channel which he messaged Stomedy on, giving a fake apology. He then instructed Stomedy to read the comment on camera, saying this was why his previous video was taken down.
Here is the message that Leafy sent me, last night. So, the message says, I'm sorry for all the damages caused to your channel. My channel is based on satire content, meaning everything that I upload is just for entertainment purposes. You get?
But the one thing that kind of undoes everything that Stomedy's talking about right now is from Leafy's apology. If you look at Leafy's YouTube channel, he has a verified tick. You get that tick if you have over 100,000 YouTube subscribers or 1,000 Google Plus followers, but fuck Google Plus, that's cancer. Notice how the verified tick is not next to the Leafy channel, which Stomedy is quoting from. And to make matters even worse, Leafy himself comments on the video saying it doesn't even have the verified tag, so the actual YouTuber himself has just called out Stomedy on the video being entirely fake.
In one fell swoop, Pyro was able to delegitimize Stomedy as a source by making him seem incompetent for falling for a troll account, shift the focus off himself, and have Stomedy's incriminating video removed. What followed was a year-long feud between Leafy and Stomedy spurred by the blackmail Pyro had given. In the end, Stomedy ultimately tripled his subscriber count as Leafy grew in tandem, all while Pyro sat back and let his two enemies tear each other apart while he could rise to new heights completely unhindered. But Stomedy could see the direction YouTube was taking, and knew he couldn't rely on Leafy's brand of content being profitable forever. In mid-2017, after having milked Leafy's channel dry, and released the blackmail, which were Leafy's nudes, he re-engaged with Pyro and teased at making all their behind-the-scenes interactions public.
What's up, guys? My name is Stomedy, and most of you guys know me as Steve. So, I've been getting a lot of messages and stuff like that on Facebook and stuff like that. Like what happened between me and Pyrocynical? Why we don't make videos about each other anymore and stuff like that. Today, I'm going to reveal the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? I know most of you guys can't handle the truth, and most of you guys don't even know how to accept the truth and stuff like that. But here it is. This is honest.
Upon discovering this, Pyro took immediate action. First, he forced Leafy into a near-permanent hiatus, cutting off Stomedy's control over him and in turn tanking his ad revenue. And it was at this point that I believe things got intense. Stomedy began reinventing his online presence not just as a business move, but as a defensive tactic to elude Pyro going forward. He'd kept his mouth shut about the claims, but Pyro clearly recognized Stomedy was too much of a loose cannon to be left alive. It took him years to nail down the poor guy thanks to his use of ExpressVPN, but eventually his real location was discovered. And when Hurricane Matthew hit, Pyro took the opportunity to finish the job, something which Stomedy himself made known, maybe as a cry for help.
What's up, guys? Yeah, I'm so sad right now, I'm so sad. When Pyrocynical heard that Hurricane Matthew was coming by Florida, and that's where I live at, he wished me death. Come on, who does that, man? Why would you wish somebody to die? I would never do that to anybody. This is what he said.
Now, I don't really wish death upon a lot of people, but Stomedy, he's an exception. I've just read through the YouTube community guidelines. Apparently, it's against the rules to wish death upon another content creator. So, Stomedy, I'm incredibly sorry. I don't want you to die. I just want you to be severely injured.
So, Pyrocynical, you can just... I'm a survivor. I'll survive. I don't even understand why you guys like Pyrocynical. I mean, this guy's dumb. Man, who would wish death on anybody? I have a lot of people who are like, some people come out of nowhere and just start calling me names, all that, But I would never wish death even on my enemies. I'm not like that,
But it was too late, and even after attempting to flee the area, Stomedy was hunted down and silenced for good. And within hours of this tragedy, Pyro axed his channel as well. F in the chat, guys. But even this wasn't enough. After clawing his way back onto the site and out from Pyro's thumb, Leafy returned, only to meet the same fate when Pyro killed him and deleted his channel too, and even disposed of Colossal's original prank video that unearthed Stomedy to the public in the first place. But at this point, he'd spread his attention too thin and hadn't dealt with the original victim of his actions. As one final measure to ensure Pyro would fall with him, Stomedy had befriended this person and urged him to come forward should things get bad. And this is the one thing Pyro hadn't counted on. But are these rumors true? I'm not sure, but we know he's at least killed 2 people by now, so there's that.